Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to fix my commands. I noticed that I switched over to Zeesh. That's what the default terminal is in Mac now. And now all of my bash profile alias stuff's gone, so I couldn't actually do my stream helper stuff, and it was confusing me. But it's okay. I think I've got it fixed. So now I can actually do my topic command, which is really exciting. But today, gonna keep working on Comet, of course, and I've been doing all the animation stuff, and the animation stuff's in an awesome place right now. I'm really excited. I think it's good enough for now. There's still plenty of things I want to do with it, and there probably always will be. But I did some Skia stuff a week or two ago, and I don't really like the architecture. I talked about it in the Discord with some people, and there's some things that I'm going to change. I'm going to redo a good portion of that to make it to where it's easier for you to inject your own drawing code into existing custom controls without having to subclass, without you having to jump through a bunch of hoops. Just let you easily do that. And that'll also make animations better. Sorry, my headphones, I forgot to charge them, so I'm plugged in on a battery pack, and my battery's hopefully almost charged enough. I probably can take it off now. It's driving me nuts. All right, that's what I get for forgetting to charge my headset. So I'm going to switch over to my screen, and we're going to start working on that. Now, the idea here is to make it to where using custom controls is super simple. Actually, let's do the topic now that I fixed it. All right, there we go. Stream helper is working. I'm excited. I was kind of sad when that wasn't working. Hey, that was pretty good. Nice. All right. So the old stuff isn't too bad. The idea behind what we're going to change, though, is going to make things a bit better. We have button handler, which just has all these draw codes, these draw calls, and you can override them to change state. And then we also have all these draw calls that are just built in. And that's kind of cool, and it works great because we can just say, hey, draw border. Hey, draw background. But if you want to just, like, say, change the background yourself, how do you do that? That makes things tricky. So what I want to do is just mix it up a bit, and we have this iDrawable. And is it this one? I don't know if that's exactly what, because we don't want all the interaction stuff. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to do a draw. I think we're going to create a new interface. And this new interface will let you interact and draw these controls, so we can draw each layer of the control. And that'll pass in the canvas, the dirty rectangle, and then also the control. And then maybe we'll do the property or layer. No, I don't know. You'll know what it is. We won't need that. And that's going to make this thing a bit different. We are also going to bring in some of the stuff from the property, like the property mapper. We're going to bring this into play. And this will work as well, so that way we can kind of chain these things. If we look at how the native handlers work, right now none of the Skia stuff actually uses the property mapper, and they need to. And if we let's look at text. So we have this property mapper, which is static, and it lets it interact and define based off any of the property changes. So when any of the font things change, go fix the fonts. So we're going to add a property mapper to each of these controls. That's one step. The other step is we need to have kind of a drawable mapper to where when it's time to draw a specific layer, it will then call this draw interface, which in turn we could do as it's just an action, so you can just override it. That way you will get that callback for when these draw calls have to happen, which will make it to where you can easily just say, hey, override this draw call for this control. And I think that will work quite well. I think so. We'll try it. All right. And also, the beautiful thing about doing this is if we do it this way, we should be able to animate these transitions, which is really excited. And that's something I'm excited about, just being like, hey, animate this from here to here, go. All right, fun. Let's get going. No point in dilly-dallying. All right. So to start out, and actually, I don't even know if I need an interface. I don't think I'm going to. I think I have a better way of doing it. I think we're going to take inspiration from the mapper. So let's go grab the mapper. Dun dun dun. All right, so we're going to grab the property mapper, and it's not exactly what we want, but we're just going to bring this into Skia. Then we're going to edit it. Add new file, draw mapper. Good. All right, do this, do this. Bring in all the using stuff for link. Finish changing all these property mappers to draw mappers. All right. Now the big thing here is, right now it passes in an action for the view handler and the virtual view. We don't need exactly that. We need the virtual view. We do need. That will be usable. And then we're also going to, instead of the view handler, we really don't care about the view handler. We could care less about the view handler. What we are going to need is, let's go look at this thing. We're going to need this. This is what's going to be passed into here. And maybe we can make this thing generic, but I don't know. Let's go here. And then here we'll just replace these. Let's bring in all of our usings. Put this stuff in again. Just pass things along. Why, hello. You're here to listen to sounds?
You ever get tired of being wrong? I do. I really do.
Hopefully those weren't too loud. How's the volume on those? I did play with my soundboard, and I made it better.
Ouch! Baseballs.
I spent a little too much time playing with my soundboard, but I like it. The best thing is, I even went and spent time. That one's loud. I spent time customizing all the icons so I know which button to press. I don't know. Oh well, back to coding.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Some good quotes. All right, so let's go back into here. So now we have invoke, canvas, dirty rec. Do that, and then, oops, this. All right, so once we get this mapper thing set up, this is what we're going to put on each of the draw controls. Uh-oh, didn't do it. And we don't care about that. Canvas and dirty rect. All right, I think we've got it all. So now we have our draw mapper. All right, so now we'll go to our Skia controls. We're going to build this puppy out. We also are going to need to go to environments. I wonder if these should live under the same environment data, or maybe we do a new one for Skia, because we have the environment keys. Which one was a little loud? Which one was loud, Squeaky? Can't leave me hanging like that. I pushed too many of them. Yeah, no was a little loud. I'm going to go put that, I'm going to go through Audacity and clean that up. Drop the volume some. All right, so now we've got this mapper. I need to think of how we're going to expose this. So what we do in the platform, maybe you guys can help. I don't know if this should live in platform because you shouldn't need those if you're not using them. But we have environmental data. So we have environment keys, and then you can know how what all these properties map to, which is really nice. So maybe we do something like this. It's this. Oh, I know what that attribute is. Never mind. Maybe we do the same thing, but for Skia, and call it like Skia environment or something. Or Skia environment keys. I don't know. What should we call it? Skia environment keys. Keep it consistent. All right. Well, oops, static string, draw. Oh, these are const, not static. Equals, and we're just going to do name of. Actually, I wonder if we should prefix all of these in Skia. Okay, and then we'll do static string. Um, and then we'll do. Oop, I should actually quote that, huh? That would help. Now I think I can. Can I do this? Hoping it'll let me. No, it's not because that's not static. It's constant. But we can easily just do. Actually, just copy this. Move this into that. Wait, what? That's not a constant? I thought that would be a compile time constant doing that. Lame. Super lame. And those are all constants on this one, right? We'll just type it out. Fine. Fine. All right. So we're going to set up some of these things, and we're going to do public class button. And we're going to need a few of these. Public const string text. We're going to just do the basic ones that they all might have. Border. All right. So now we can do class button. Does button have anything special? I don't think it does. We're not going to add button yet. I think we have enough to get going. All right, so now we have some environment keys. We can jump over and start working on these controls. I want to start with Skia control, which is our base, right? This needs public. Oh no, we make these things static, don't we? Wait, Skia view. Skia view takes a mapper? Interesting. All right, so we're going to put this at this level too then. And then we're going to ditch this on draw because that's not needed. That's going to work differently now. All right, let me think this through. Oops, sorry. Gotta not breathe into my mic like that. Let's go look at a platform button really quick. Windows, close all. Cancel that one since it's not saved. We'll leave it. Platforms, iOS, handlers. So we have the base view handler. And it has this public static read-only mapper thing, right? And now what subclass is that? Abstract control handler. Well, subclass. Oh no, it does its own. Okay. So what subclass is this guy? So this one has a mapper on it, which is typed because it's typed. So I wonder if we can type this thing as well. And then view mapper, I just want to look how view mapper works. Find all references, because this does get used by like button handler. Because we're going to need, the control's going to need one of those. So this is where all the draw stuff's at anyway, right? And the virtual one just says it as a view, right? Just making sure I do that the same way. Okay. Now what this is going to do is we're going to say Skia environment keys dot draw. So the global draw is going to equal to, we're going to need to add some statics down here. Public static, make sure you can do draw, static void. And this is going to get, first thing was SK canvas, right? Rectangle F, dirty rect, and then after that it was the virtual control, which would be SK canvas. Oh no, SK control. Right? I think that's right. So now we can say that equals this. Perfect. I like it. We should call this the draw mapper because it is a different type of mapper. So if you do this, you can actually take over the default draw, which is pretty cool because then you can draw like a default border and off you go. Comma. And we can clean this up. I like the new syntax. All right. So now this thing is just going to proxy out and call the draw for that platform. But this gives you a way to easily override it. Wait, am I doing that right? I want to make sure I'm doing that right. And I also want to do a secondary one. So this is the global draw mapper, but I also want one that's per platform, per control, so you can override anything at the control level. Maybe we'll call that global. And whatever we do here, I'm probably going to later refactor the property mappers to do the same pattern. Sorry, just thinking this through. All right, so what's going to call this? I'm trying to remember what we do on a view handler. Let me look back at the abstract control. On property changed, that's what it is. On this, that's what we do. Actually, so this pattern will work nicely. Yeah, I have an idea on this then. Without anything crazy. We're not going to have to rename that thing. We're going to leave it as mapper. It doesn't need to be global. It is global. All right. So I'm doing this wrong. This draw code is going to be the tricky one. I don't know if that's right. Because it should call out to the mapper and tell it to draw, and I don't want to cause a cycle there. Let's go to Skia View really quick. And I don't know if that mapper stuff there is right. It might be. Let's look how it does its draw. Where's this get called from? Skia View calls virtualView.draw. So maybe this shouldn't be public. Virtual. This will break things, but I think it's fine to break things at this point of our thing. So what we'll do Actually, that still might not work because I want. What I was thinking about. The draw one's tricky because I do want to allow you to override it. Because you shouldn't have to inject all the mapper stuff in if you don't want to. Maybe it's not wrong to make you inject that way. Overriding just makes sense with C#. So I want to make sure whatever we do here, let's ignore draw right now because I'm so confused on how to do that one. Actually, I don't think we need to. All right. Hey, good morning, Kim. All right, we're not going to do global draw that way because I think the global draw doesn't make sense. And maybe I'll revisit that. But let's kill that one. Let's jump into environment keys. I'm going to comment this one out. And let's just start with doing text, background, and border because I know how to do those. So Skia control. We're just going to say, all right, this one, go die in a fire. Don't need you. And we don't need draw anymore. But we are going to do, let's just start with background. All right, well, all right, so now what we can do is control dot draw text. And the default for this we probably need to do some default stuff for the mapper because I want to make sure that we're using the property mapper for getting these properties out. But for now, we're not going to do that. Let's look at, and actually, let's not do text yet either. Text is going to be per control because that's going to be slightly different. But we'll do that on, oh, I was doing backwards anyway. All right. The text is going to go on a button or it's going to go on the text stuff because they do things slightly differently. So draw background. I think that's safe. All right, so draw background is going to have SK canvas and then background color. The default to this will just be, we'll do control.get background color. And we'll say the default is transparent. Actually, didn't I do something on the colors to make it default to based on the... I thought I did something on iOS to deal with... Oh, no, that was on controls. Never mind. Ignore that. That was on the default controls. I gave the controls a background color, default to whatever the system background is. That's not going to work here. All right, so now we have our draw background. We also have the draw border. And then we'll try going and doing the button. And draw border. Okay, border then gets the shape. So we're going to do this a little bit saner. Var shape equals control dot get border. Yeah. If shape equals null, return. All right. And now we'll do shape. And I'm trying to remember if I did that shape right. Let's go look at the button, because I might have done that shape, that size wrong. On our SK button is where I'm looking, the Skia button. So let's look at the Skia button and drawing its border. Yeah, I just did dirty rect as well. All right. Beautiful. No problem. Come back when you're ready. I'm going to be here for a bit doing this, I think. Okay, so we don't need the Skia view right now. We're going to look at the Skia control. So now we have two default settings for drawing the background and drawing the border. Now what's cool about this is we can override this thing, right? So right now what I'm doing is I say, hey, get the virtual view. Oh, actually, what I was thinking about might actually work with the draw, because there's two controls here. This has the virtual view, which is going to be the Skia controller, like the button, because it's actually 2 layers deep. I forgot about that. So right now it's doing view.get border. So now what I can do so we can actually follow this. On abstract control, we might want to make an abstract control for these type T things, so that way we can type the mapper stuff. Let's do that really quick. Oh, no, this goes in, yeah, that's in the right here. All right, now this is going to scope class SK control. And we're going to say this is a type. All right, so we're going to follow the same pattern to where we say we have a virtual view. And this will now allow us to do a mapper on that. That's where this is all going to start coming together. So we can actually put 2 mappers on there. And we can clean up my old property mapper stuff I did because it didn't make sense with how I did it. But on this abstract control, just like on our abstract handler, how we have this, we're going to do a property mapper. All right, so we'll have property mapper where I want to go to the abstract control. Sorry, brain is not working as well as I want it to today. Don't know why, but it's not. All right, so we're going to do a property mapper. Okay, one of these is on hard mode and it's driving me nuts. It's under, where's the hard mode settings, guys? Why isn't this on the latest type? Guess it doesn't matter, we can leave it on 2. I thought it was, there's the something errors as warnings, or warnings as errors is on. No, it's not. Then why is this, whoa, what happened to my font? Get bigger, not smaller. All right, ooh, too big. So why is this complaining? Cannot be used in a JERIC because there's no boxing conversion. Oh. This is where we do, I just need to take the where stuff. And eventually these actually are, so we're fine there. All right. Make sure that's abstract. Perfect. So now we have this. We're also going to do mapper, sorry. And then we're going to do the same thing with the draw mapper. Okay, we will override draw. And actually, now since I did that, we're going to move these. Did I delete my commented ones out? Hey, thanks for the follow, Rizari. Rizari? I don't know how to say it. Sorry. Close. Hopefully it's right. All right, so we're going to throw these in here. And now we're going to go and actually we'll leave them where they were. I digress. I remember why. Skia control. All right, now we will make this thing draw border. All right, leave that there. On abstract handler, we can kill this one because this one just does the mapper stuff, and then it has the built-in on property change. Go hit the mapper. That's basically what we're gonna do there. So now on our abstract one, we're gonna have our draw. Let's go look at that Skia control draw. And let's go back to our, I wonder if the Skia control even needs this private view. Because we're changing the way this thing works. And it doesn't need the mapper stuff either. So we're going to clean this up. Anything even, no, nothing's even using the mapper, right? No, I added it the other day and I didn't want it. Actually, we don't even need that because it's an empty constructor. All right, cleaning stuff up. Getting better. So now our Skia control doesn't have a mapper. This set view, that's fine. We'll leave that there. Okay, so we don't need virtual view. We're going to delete this. It doesn't even need that. We will leave this draw. Okay, I might have needed some of that. Little overzealous. If I leave that virtual stuff there, I'm going to need that. What do we call it? Because on the abstract, do we call it the typed control then? Because I want a typed one. Abstract control handler. Because this should have type native view. That's what we, or type virtual view. That's what we, no, that one's still called virtual view. Because it's not doing the same subclass. It does its own raw one. We can't for this one. Oh, this is trickier than I thought it was going to be, guys. Always is. Always is. All right, close this one. We're going to go to this one. Go back to our Skia one. Let's actually see what builds. Let me see what errors I need to fix before it'll build. All right, so now what we'll do is we will do T virtual view. Actually, we'll just do view as T virtual view. All right, so now we've got our view, we've got our draw. We have the mappers that come in. We're going to have the default mappers. Now this is where we're going to need to do like that abstract thing where we can pass in those mappers. All right, so we're going to do this same thing. Ah. All right, so we have our default mapper stuff. I'm trying to remember why these were all protected. Oh well. Leave them as they are. All right, so now what we can do is do mapper try get out value. We'll say the key is Skia. And didn't I call that Skia environment? Okay, Skia environment keys dot. On our old one, we started with. I deleted it, didn't I? It's totally gone, so I can't even reference it. I should start referencing things and building it before just deleting. Oh no, I didn't delete draw yet. Okay. Or I just mass delete everything. It feels so good mass deleting though. All right, so let's bring this over to our abstract, Skia abstract control. Am I even using this one? Okay, we are. Okay, so let's go here. We have this, we have this, we have our draw. Let's start with this. All right, so we have our clear. If virtual view equals null, what if the clear should go after that? So now we'll have, we get our background. Now we can say, deleted too much again. This is the one I want. All right, so now you can just say, and then we'll do also and Mapper dot try get out value skia by environment keys var or out var. Oh, environment keys dot border. All right, so now instead of doing just this draw, what we'll do is we'll do border draw dot invoke we're also going to say and border draw is not equal to null. So if that puppy is null, we're not going to want to do this call either. So now we can just say action. Oh, I did the wrong mapper. Draw mapper. Okay, and what we'll also do, actually, let me move that over, is covering my chat. We can do draw border, which is going to be canvas, comma, dirty rectangle, and it's going to be typed virtual view. Now unfortunately, I am getting that border twice, but I think it's worth it here. Else if, do the same thing. Background. Now we can do background. Dot invoke. We'll do canvas dirty rect. All right. I think this pattern's going to work. I hope. This should let us, I don't need to call the base now. Done. What this should let us do is now register those draw calls at the control level. We also need to do this mapper nonsense. How's that work on this old one? Oh, I think the iOS handler. Okay, this iView handler needs to pass this stuff along, which is tricky on this one. We'll deal with the other mapper later. We're going to need that in order to do animated stuff. But we're not going to worry about that for now. Okay. I like it. No. Just do the draw mapper for now. We'll come back to the real mapper. That looks good. That looks good. Now let's go do a control. Should we start with button or label? We may want to do a measure for this as well. So that way the measure gets called through the mapper. Oh, we're not going to deal with that right now. So this should be right because we're not going to have to do all of this stuff. Let's just do button. We're going to do it. All right. SC button. We don't need that anymore because we have our typed view. All right, so now what we'll do is we're going to add a mapper here. And it's going to be similar. So we're going to do public static. Do we just call them draw mapper? And this one is going to be C button. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. All right. Equals new. All right, so now what we need to add in there is environment keys. Oh, dot text. And this is actually going to be about the same on both of them. Okay, equals. Look at that fun stuff. All right. For now, we'll just do that, fix all those. All right, so let's do. I am going to be lame and go copy and paste because that's what I do. We might want to do an interface for text just to make text easier. Especially if this is using C# 6, we can do default implementations. Yes, it is. I text, we're gonna do it. I haven't done the default implementation stuff yet, so this is kind of exciting for me. So, what we'll have here is, this just needs public properties. And this is, all right, so this thing needs to have the virtual view. I wonder if I should make this thing typed. Because we should have that. All right, where that's view. Then we'll also have, is it only default interface methods or do we get default properties? So let's go look what we're going to need for this skia text. So sk in our text, when we do our draw button call, it's going to need the font, which is an sk font, and then also all the alignment stuff. Oh, that didn't have that. That's why that shouldn't have had that. All right, so this draw call, it needs font attributes. Actually, this thing does all the conversions, doesn't it? Because we want to cache these. We don't want that. And we also want to cache this text block. So we're going to have the top, this on there. Oh. All right, so then what we're going to have is we're going to have void update. And then we can put default stuff in here, can't we? Target runtime does not support default interfaces. What if we jump it to 2.1? Come on. That ruins everything. Wait, no, it went. It updated. Yes. Yes, we have default implementations. All right. So we're going to have this update text block. And what we'll do, um, I'm just going to do that. All right, so now that we have that, let's look at this button or the SK control, how it does its drawing. Let's put this side by side. So what we need to do is we need to cache this text block and we need to update it whenever things change. And the alignment, sorry, just thinking this through really quick. I wonder if this interface is going to be that helpful now that I've been working on it. So what we eventually need to do is cache this text block. This text block only needs to be updated when things that matter from it change. So when we draw the text, if none of the text have changed, none of its anything as far as the style or font or any of that changes, we don't have to recalculate all that. We can just do tb.paint. So what we need to do is keep track of any time something changes that messes with the text block, and then update the text block then and only then. And then we can also use the same text block for the measure and the draw call, because right now it gets updated when we measure, and we create a new one when we draw. Not efficient. I mean, this is basically what we need. So if we go to our iText handler, and then that data that gets passed in is font attributes. Now if we go look at Maybe we just make each of them do their own instead of doing this in a generic place, because that color, we can put the create the text box on the generic thing. We might not even need the generic stuff now that I'm thinking about it. What if we do this on button now? That's gonna work if I want to do that. Because we might even be able to just put this draw stuff on that base one. Because that's what I want to do. I don't want to do any of that here. I want to be able to just say SK control. Let's do like text equals. And then have this just say actually I might not even need to type that now that I'm looking at it. The reason is all I care about is getting that text block, right? So then if I have this text block, I could do like draw text box. Change draw text so it doesn't just take that generic stuff in. It takes in the text block and the vertical alignment. And then we can do like, if the text block is null, create it. Let's just start with something simple like that for right now. Actually, on this default stuff, no, we're not going to do that. That's getting too fancy. All right, so then we'll say, hey, how's it going, Dylan? It's Dylan, right? I always see Dillbot, and I just want to say that. I can't remember names sometimes. Oh, no, that's right. If text block dot text block, let's rename this. All right, text block equals null. What we'll do is text handler dot text blocks equals. Then we can do that draw text call. So we'll get to that. All right. Because if we go to our button handler, we can actually clear a lot of this stuff out now. We don't even need it. Once we do the mapper stuff and the state changes the colors, that's crazy. All right, we might have to update mapper stuff, but that's what I wanted to do, is make it to where we can just easily redo this. And then we also need to do oh, I thought I could do that. It's not Skia control. It's view. This text block thing might not be right, because all of these should be views. Am I thinking that through right? I may be doing those generic type wrong. Sometimes it's hard to remember and keep them all straight. It's actually really hard. So button handler is an abstract control, and it does button UI button. So we might need to do the same thing where we do, but then the mapper uses button. But it is getting both. All right, we're gonna need to change the mapper to where it gets both. I think the draw mapper is wrong. And then we should be fine. Okay, let's go back to the mapper. Draw mapper. Because right now we're not passing the control in. We're passing in the virtual, hey, MSF, oh, I guess that's how you'd say it. MSHWF, thanks for the follow. All right, so right now I'm only passing in the virtual view. I need to pass in, just like on the other mapper does, the native control so I can cast that out. Because I need to have both. I was trying to do it easier and combine them, and it screwed me over. So let's go fix that. We just needed to add things, not replace, and I replaced. Why is this mappers? Delete. It's dead. Empty. Property mapper. So they do both. The view handler, which we'll do as well because we have a view handler. Our view handler is the Skia control. All right, this should fix it. And now just everywhere go through and do view handler. Starting to make sense. Starting to make sense. Sure wish this was simpler stuff to deal with. All right, so now that we have this mapper, let's go fix it on the Skia controls. Which is going to give us our view, and then we also need our draw mapper. And, oh, did I copy that right? All right, so then we get the view handler. Now let's simplify this a bit. So now that we have that, It's not going to be control.draw background. No, didn't. It'll be viewHandler.draw. And then we'll name these appropriately across all of them. It's all making sense now. It's killing me. Yes, that's looking right. Messes with my brain doing all this stuff sometimes. All right, so we've got the control. The control is view.getBackgroundColor.
You ever get tired of being wrong? I do. I really do.
That's how I feel right now. How I feel. All right, so now we've got that control. Let's do same thing. And I shouldn't have to do these. These should never be null. I'm going to do it anyway. All right, and then we'll do that likewise. All right, so now let's go to the button handler. Yes, yes, that's looking right. All right, and we'll go back to the Skia control. And I do have the text added in there, yes. So draw text is going to fire now. And we're always going to do, so right now we're going to do, I don't need all these, do I? I wonder if I should move all of these out of here. Do we even need virtuals? It's fine in case people want to subclass. I'll leave them there for subclassing. Because subclassing, then the mapper gets crazy. It gets kind of weird if you're subclassing, so I'll leave that all there. I think that's right. Let's go look at button now. No, this button. All right, draw mapper. Totally fine. Does new work on this? I don't think. Okay, new works on statics. And for the old button handlers, we did the same thing, right? We just did mapper. Well, hello, thank you for the follow. Why, Bad Dragon? What did we call? Oh, because the view mapper lives on a different control there, so they didn't have any named collisions. I do. All right, let's close everything and let's go. I have too many things open. It's confusing me. We'll go to our button handler. We'll implement this text. Oh, I didn't type it. I removed the typing. Don't need typing. And now we'll implement the interface. All right, our measure code, we're probably going to move this measure stuff out so it can be overridden as well. Our start interaction stuff is good. We're just going to do draw. Because I think I don't have the draw stuff in the base control. Not for text. All right, what's this complaint about? Draw exists. Oh, it doesn't match. Typed virtual view. This. Maybe we just do it down to Skia control instead of the interface. We're going to go back and change it again. Again, guys. Then we don't have to cast it, luckily. Let's do it smart. Now again. Guess what? No casting needed. Yay. Simple. Much simpler. All right, now on our Skia abstract stuff, it sends it all in. So now what we'll do is, I wonder if we should do something where we wrap this canvas save and restore. That's all right. We'll do button handler. Is going to override the draw. And then we're going to just take no, I don't like that. All right, so we're just going to make this protected. I don't care. I'm going to leave it lowercase. We might fix that later. And instead of border, we're now going to rename this to draw text. So right now I'm working on a new UI framework called Comet. Oops, wrong button. And what we're doing is I'm building out a way to draw the controls. So you can draw custom controls in Skia. And I had it working to where the buttons draw okay. I don't have a simulator up and going. Can't I just do that? There we go. Let's launch the simulator, and I can show you what it looks like now, but there's no easy way without subclassing and overriding draw methods to completely change the look and feel of controls. And you can't globally do that, and I want to allow that. And I just finished the animation framework close enough yesterday. So once we get through these draw calls, the animation should magically happen once we finish hooking things up. So I'm in the process of doing the nitty-gritty part of this drawing portion. And then once we do this, it should be quick and easy to add some more controls. Right now I'm going to do button and text. And then we'll go from there. All right, and so this is the sample. Oh, do I have Skia buttons? Skia control sample? Here we go. So see how we have these buttons and it flat? Yeah. So this is what we have right now. And like I said, I just finished the animation framework enough yesterday. Oh, no, that's old. That's really old. Because that's a very old. That's old. Yeah, this is a new level of custom controls. Let me see if it builds right now. And I can show the animation stuff if this builds. Looks like it's going to build. In the middle of coding, you never know if it's actually going to build. Hey, it is! All right, so let's let that run. Oh, no, no. Just going to comment that out right now because fun. Build more errors, more build errors. Oh, upping that version totally broke dependency chains. All right, we're going to just drop that back down because we're not using the C#8 stuff anyway at this point. So build back to 2, and now we can run it. So the animation stuff is pretty cool because alls we'll have to, since July, not 100% full-time, but lately it's been full-time. So on this sample though, if we look at how this stuff works though, is when we start doing some of these custom controls, we should be able to do this same exact stuff in the sample for this animation. Where is it? Animation samples at the top. Alphabetical, of course. So right now what we can do is we have all these fancy animation things where we can just say view.animate and then say, hey, change the background color, change the font, change the size. So what the plan is, once I finish setting up all this mapper stuff, when this state changes, right here, we can say animate based on the state. So we'll just say this.animate background color is now the different state background color. And even better, once we have styles, we'll be able to just say apply this style. So we'll say, hey, the button state in it's disabled. Oh, it's disabled. Apply those colors in an animation. It'll just fade to it and fade out. And we can even start doing like fancy animations with that. So that I'm pretty excited about. And we can override and do different draw things based on we can add, like, let's just say you want material style buttons where it does that growing circle. We'll be able to just apply a new background, like we were talking about, and then just draw that out. So it's pretty cool that it should just work. Should. And I shouldn't have to write anything special to animate the Skia controls because the animation is at the platform level. So yes, that's a really, really ugly animation sample. But it works. And hopefully the next animation stuff will look better because we're going to animate these Skia controls once I get past refactoring them so we can easily animate them. And once I get this pattern established on, oh, I have that half off screen. There we go. Sorry, better. Yeah. So hopefully, if I do it right, everything else will just magically animate. We're getting there. All right, so button handler. I just did the code for draw text. So now we're going to draw text. To be honest, actually, let's throw this draw text. We don't even need to do it here. Not the entire process, but a good portion of it. There was a hackathon that happened, and some of it got up. YouTube wouldn't let me actually upload the whole thing, so we did a couple 12-hour sessions, but it's all up on YouTube. Did I do that one? Or there we go. So, and this whole project's open source. You can see the history of it. There's quite a bit of videos. I have another app I've been building, and that's completely been built on stream, but this hasn't. There's been plenty of things I've done off stream. It's too big. And I can't stream all the time. All right, so we're going to put this in that Skia control, abstract control, and let the text handle it there. That's why we just did all that work. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so now that we did this, we can just throw this draw text in there. Perfect. And if we really, well, that's good enough. All right, so now we'll draw the text. And now buttons and text don't have to deal with that. They're just going to have to implement the stuff that's going to set up that interface. Now this is just going to go. Yeah, definitely check out the streams. There's lots of stuff on there. I've been streaming a lot this week. Sometimes it's once a week, but it's just whatever I can manage. Family life can be crazy at my house, so I can't always stream all day. All right, so now we're going to do type virtual button dot text because it's a button, so we want to get the text off. To create this block, we're going to hook this thing up later to something else, but for now, I'm going to go grab some of the old code from the button handler. So we do virtual view.getFont.getColor. We might have to do something for the color too. I might not have thought that through enough. Our font equals that. Now I'm going to go and snag Skia control still has this draw text. Actually, we might not even need the text. If we just do get text block, the text block's going to set that. Done. You get to die. Not needed. All right, so here we're just going to do type virtual do.text. Now we have font.toStyle. And we have the color. Font attribute data. Did I miss something on that? I thought I did that. Isn't that what comes out of that? So we do get font default font. And that's font attributes. Maybe I missed something else in that draw. Data.toStyle. Am I missing a using statement? Oh, do style, does that take in? That makes no sense. Oh, it's inside the namespace internal, and I don't know why. All right, so now we have that. The only thing missing is the alignment. And alignment we get from all right, so now what we do is, let's just do this. Var. All right, so now that we have that, and we're just going to clean this up a little bit. So we're just going to do, maybe we just update this text block. So we don't have to keep recreating that native object either. Just thinking of optimizations. Actually, we'll do it with this. We'll just do that. I like it. All right. All right, so now measure, we can simplify. So what does get text size do? It creates the text block, does all that stuff, sets that, lays out, and then returns the text block measured. So we're going to leave that there for now so we don't break the other stuff. But for now, we're just going to go, we aren't going to do this. The reason I'm doing this is we're going to teach this thing to how to auto-create itself. So whenever something that changes, we'll just reset it. So now this will recreate itself. Did I do that right? What's it complaining about? Text block, question mark, text block equals. Only assignment, await, and new objects expression can be used as a statement. Really? No, I've done this before. I know that should work. Am I missing a parenthesis? Anyone see something I'm doing wrong or idiotic? I use that syntax all the time. I know that's right. What's it complaining about? Let's try new C#8 syntax. I don't know. That looks right, doesn't it? We'll just use C#8 syntax. I'm okay with that. It looks nicer anyway. I should do that pattern more. Yeah, basically the same thing, just fancy syntax works. It's right. I like the new fancy syntax. I need to use it more. All right, so now what's nice about this is we can just say, hey, on measure, let's stop. On measure, we can just say, that's not taking into an account that min height stuff, is it? That's the only difference here is this is giving a different amount of size, space. But it's all right, we can fix that. T text block dot max height equals what were we saying? We were saying height. So max height equals that minus. Oh no, we don't. We just have to get the size. When we're measuring this before, we set the width to the width that's available. Max height equals null. This is a nullable, right? Text blocks dot width. So we probably should ditch this layout call here. All right, so we've got that. And now we'll do var size equals t block dot All right, we'll just do that. Now we're going to do the same thing for the width. Now we're reusing that thing for, we're not going to just keep creating. So that's a big, what am I trying to say? Wait, what? Float. Oh, measured width. So that's a big performance gain that we're going to get and memory overall. Now we also need to make sure that after we set the frame, we're going to want to call that text block.layout and set up its stuff. Okay, I think we'll just do this. Frame dot width. So that's the maximum it can lay out. Oh, I wonder if we need to deal with that padding too. I dealt with that padding before when I did it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Let's look at that draw text. Maybe I didn't. I'm gonna just go with that for now. All right, so now that text block auto creates itself. Super exciting. We add in our padding. Draw text now does all this. We are going to change this to now we have protected. No, we want to do this as and then vertical alignment. Oh, right, we need the canvas. Can't forget the canvas. Where are we drawing this puppy? Canvas should always go first. Maybe not. All right, so now we have our canvas in here. So now we can bring this back and just say control.draw text. Text handler dot. Really? Why is that so far down? Can't wait till we get IntelliCode over here. IntelliCode, canvas, and then control dot get vertical. How do I get that alignment? All right, so here, oh, I just centered this thing, because why not? Why wouldn't you? We're just going to hard code this as centered for now. Actually, let's do it right. We're at our text handler. Where's our iText handler? Vertical alignment, or we'll just call it vertical alignment. So now here we'll just say text handler dot alignment. Now any control that needs to, this will now properly work. Just should. So text, once we convert text to using this subclass stuff, it should just start working as well. That I'm happy about. So our button handler is going to need that text alignment stuff. Implement interface. Where did it just add that? All right. Let's run this. Do I have this button listed anywhere? I think that one Skia control one's using it. Where was it? Skia something. Animated Skia sample does. Text handler's blowing up. What object is null? Text is null. We're just going to comment that out for right now. So our text won't work until I fix that. I have one of my console.writeline highs in there. I forgot to delete that. All right, so let's check how this thing works now. How is text blocks null? Oh, guys. I did it on the set, not the get. Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Ouch! Baseballs!
How come no one caught that? It's alright. It's alright. Whoa, whoa, crash! Where are we crashed at? Crash! Okay. Something in there was wrong. I did just like redo everything. Alright, that view is null. Alright, let's put a breakpoint. Here. Because that should happen before measure. Nope, wrong one. SK button. In virtual view is a Comet dot button. That should go. Did. Did something null that out before we could use it? Oh, is nothing setting virtual view? Why is nothing setting virtual view? I think I deleted that. That's on me, guys. Me not being smart. That's what broke the label one, too. Alright, let's bring text back. Hey, we have a view this time. It's empty, but it's there. All right, let's see what I messed up. And I should teach the hot reload how to reload these Skia controls too. Shouldn't be hard to do. We'll make building these easier. All right, so animated Skia sample. All right, didn't crash. Not crashing is a good start. I know why. Because we didn't hook all the mapper stuff up right. Time to do mapper. Until we do mapper, this isn't going to work. It's just not. So let's do our other mapper. All right. And we can do this. I might do this font stuff elsewhere too. All right, so public static, property mapper, view. So let's start with the text stuff. Actually, let me double check one thing on button. Because I think we hooked those in there too. Which if we did, these might animate as well. Oh no, I need to teach how to animate that. So in the platforms, what I'm checking is on the button handler here. Button text maps this property. Okay, that's what we need to do as well. Alrighty then. Let's go to our Skia control one. Right, okay. Environment keys dot text. We are going to go and borrow wrong button handler, of course. All right, so now if we take these and we put these in our Skia control, so we have two sets of mapper stuff. We have one for the drawing, and then have one for the color property. So this is not going, the native view that's not right. This is going to be Skia. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Skia control. And actually, we can probably do var text handler equals view handler. This is just view as a text handler. And then let's do that. Let's see if that one works. And we're just going to hook this one up. I hope that's going to work. Oh, did that again. Um, why is that wrong? Hmm. we're just going to do... So if anything has a text property, do that for now. We might move that text stuff to the button because that's where it really should be for the mapper stuff. So that way we can map to button.text. But I just want to test this. Ah, wrong one. Did I not put breakpoints in there? Breakpoint? I didn't hook up the mapper. I added it, but I didn't freaking hook it up. This isn't tied to anything. This isn't tied to anything. All right, so I need to finish hooking all this stuff up with the abstract control stuff. I know. I'm changing a lot with this. This is a major change. I don't think I'll need that. For now, I think it needs that though. All right, now what this does is I'm just going to copy and paste the code from the other one because I don't want to screw this up. Just with how many changes there are. Super hard, I know. Woo! All right. How is that not right? Cannot this dot. That is a view. It can't do it to... Oh. Typed virtual view. All right, now I need to hook this thing up. So we do something a little crazy on this control handler. So we have this, and actually, let's remove that. We're gonna leave it for now. I'm thinking what we'll do. Let's go to the Skia control something or other. And I can't remember where that's at. Let's look at iOS. All right, so control, this is where it does all this. All right, perfect, perfect. Here we are. I need to put that down to Skia control. All right, we can do that. I did make it that interface. All right, now we hooked up the mapper, I think. It's been a while since I've touched this stuff. We are digging through the bowels of Comet. We're almost through all this crazy hookup. Once this crazy hookup's done, it'll be super simple. This is already done for all the native controls, it's just not been done for Skia yet. Okay. We're getting somewhere. All right. So that's this one. So now let's go to the button handler and actually pass a mapper in. All right. So now public button handler. And this is going to get base. Wait, I don't even have a view mapper on this one. It doesn't need it. Right. We need to do the same thing for mapper. All right. Equals that's right. All right. Now we have mappers. And they're hooked up, I think. I hope.
60% of the time, it works every time.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work this time. Dang it, mapper's empty. How? Maybe that's the text one. Why? They both have some. Oh, that's right. That should be fine. Because the chained one should do it. Let's go to SK control. See what's firing. All right, so creates a mapper. All right, we're gonna step into this thing then. Maybe I've got something really broken in there. All right, so animated Skia sample. Let's step in. It's that one, right? Virtual view is not null. Then chained, which has one. Virtual view, view handler. That view handler's wrong. We need to swap the view handlers out on these. That's the issue. Wait, we're passing this in. Okay, so let's check this out. So when we tap into this one, property frame on Skia button handler for SK button. That should be fine. Oh, we never hooked up frame. Is that the only thing that fires? Background color needs to be hooked up to then redo the draw. So we could cache that SK color, which we should do eventually. Property color. So we're just not hooking into the right colors. All right, so on set view, let's go look at the iOS button handler really quick. Oh, I know what we're missing. When we first create this thing, mapper update properties. We didn't add that one in. This is why I write the base stuff, so that way as people later want to add controls, they don't have to deal with this nonsense. That's what sets that initial text. All right, so let's do. It hit that time, guys. All right, so what is this? SK abstract. Oh. Why do I even get that native view? I had old dead code. That's from me casting that thing to be that control handler. I think I'm going to remove that because it added things that we don't need. A lot of things we don't need. We're just going to add that update property on there. All right, so let's try this. I think we're there. That's going to. Oh, come on! Why is draw never called? All right, so let's put a breakpoint on draw. And then we're also going to put one on this draw. Yes, small victories. We're at least getting the mapper properties to call. Now we just have to get the draw mappers to call. Oh. I know why. I know why. The mapper was intended to call access, not get. We need to change it. It's okay. We're getting there. That's an easy fix. Draw's getting called, but this, we never call draw border, because draw border is null, even though it's not. Easy fix, easy fix. All right, so let's close this. Let's go fix the draw mapper. That's what I get for just copying and pasting code. So it has all this update properties, right? We need to basically do that, but instead of update, we need to pull. That's how the draw should work. So maybe we turn this into a Boolean. And we change this instead of update, be called draw. Is it not like that? Oh. Oh, this one's just going to be. That one doesn't matter. This one matters. And actually, we don't even need the draw everything. That doesn't exist on this. Draw layer. Hmm. All right. That's going to make this cleaner to use too. Return. All right. Much better. Much better. All right, so now let's go back to our Skia control. Oh, it's this guy. All right, our draw mapper. Draw layer. All right, canvas, dirty rect, this, for typed virtual do. Don't I? I don't really do anything though, so. And mapper. Oh, I know why. Actually, what we can do is just say, hey, is the mapper's not here? If or draw mapper equals null. All right. Right, I was doing something to get out. Skia environments dot border. All right, there we go. So if not did draw border, undo. We're gonna draw the background. And then this one is going to be oh, because I have this if. So now we're going to do the draw text. Come on. Draw mapper dot draw layer canvas dirty rect view handler. Oh no, typed view. Oh, this comma Skia environment. All right. So bit cleaner code, but that should now draw. One could only hope. There we go. And that logic may change, but let's see if this draws. Please draw. You know you want to. Map text. Draw background. Let's map more color stuff. Once we map more colors. That's so exciting! That's amazing. It's pure black. I don't know why. But it drew something. Only one thing. I was supposed to draw two things. Where's our text? Alright. Let's try this again. Let's see what's going on. I want to see what's coming out of this puppy. Width, height. This is our text. Oh, I bet it's because the old Skia control used to have some draw stuff. No, it still does. Skia text should still work. Alright, let's try this again. Section animated Skia view. Text has size. Measuring again, it's drawing. There's nothing I can see in there, is there? No, it's pure black. I wonder what I'm doing wrong with the backgrounds. Let's go comment out the abstract control draw. See what's drawing. All right, so let's run that. It could just be getting all the wrong colors. So that was the text that was drawn, or the button that was drawing. That's right. So we know it's the button that's drawing, so we can just work with that. I'm okay with that. We'll find out what's going on with the button text because we're going to rewrite that stuff anyway. So let's see. I don't want the breakpoints there. I want the breakpoints in Skia control. Draw background. Draw border. Those are the ones I care about. And this should not be called because we're overwriting that. Sorry, getting asked questions for work. Try this again. All right, so background color. This is being called through the draw mappers. Good, good, good. I thought I put breakpoints on. Oh, I didn't put a breakpoint right there on the statics. I thought I did. All right, so we're drawing the background. And now we're going to draw the text. We're not updating all the text stuff whenever the color things change. So we're painting black on black on black, I think. Let's finish out the mapper, and I think it'll fix everything. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the base mapper control. We're going to move this to the view, or out of here. Well, we're going to leave that now. Let's go to view handler and see what all they cover. Because we're going to cover almost everything. Oh, we don't have shadows yet. That's going to be fun. All right, so let's go to our abstract control. Wrong, yeah. No, Skia control. And this is what we're going to do by default. Beautiful thing about most of this is, though, guys, all it's going to have to do is invalidate. Because none of its colors. Yeah, that'll be fine. So let's do. Hey, those are the right match. Yeah. So now all this has to do is view handler as sk control. Control.invalidate. I think that's all we're going to need for these ones. All right, now we're not doing text yet. So let's go to button. And we're going to, actually, let's do a new mapper in here. All right, so now here we're just going to go let's go to ski control. Let's go steal that text one. All right, so now we have that, and we don't even need that anyway. All right, that looks perfect. Now let's do color. I think that's the other things that the button handlers need. Button handlers also have color. That's huge. This is going to just do the same exact thing, actually, though. We basically need a reset text button on the button handler. Because this stuff all redraws anyway. Oops, wrong button. Stop building. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll do environment keys dot color color. Oh wait, no, we need to use this now. Can't remember to set this stuff up. New. I need to be able to do it without doing the draw mapper. Null comma new I don't know, I just need to do mapper. And then this, when it news this thing up, is going to go skia control dot mapper. Now, let's put a breakpoint on this reset text. Actually, not all of them have to invalidate measurement. Like the colors aren't going to change that, but font stuff will. All right. This one got called. Got called again. Draw text. Let's look at this text block this time. Oh, it's not going to tell us the color. Never mind. Let's remove some of these. Oh, it's still black. I may be able to put this in a default interface implementation anyway, eventually. I think most of it is. All right. Excuse me. Let's look at this. Let's see what's coming out of here. So color is black. What are we doing on this control? Let's actually go look at the code for this thing. Should have done that a long time ago. Sample. All right. So the text is black. Starting out here, SK button, color is black, and background is white. Let's make sure I'm doing this right on that. Thought I copied that though. Button handler. Yeah, it's getting color. Debug this again. All right, so first time, virtual view is a Skia button. Base. And eventually we'll change this just to update that text block rather than rename or killing it. So local context. So it has color and background color. Color is 1111. That's white, right? And then that is background color, black, I guess. All right. So this has a text block. And then that's that same one. Style. All right, text color's white. Oh, and empty that time. The animation might have been going on, but adding in the animation should cause that to keep triggering. Let's remove the animations for now. Nope, wrong one. Been on Windows too long. All right, and then so right now we should have a color with a background of black, color white. Nope. My headphone battery's doing. Oh, they're still doing good. All right. So sad because all this drawing was working before I just did all this refactoring. It's now calling all the methods. Let's make sure I didn't do this wrong. Background border text. Let's go into our button. Let's go to button. For kicks, we're going to go back to the old measurement. I mean the old layout. Raw. Actually, that's the old one. Okay, let's go look what that is on GitHub. We're going to copy it from there. Sometimes getting diffs, I get mixed up. So Comet, source, Skia, handlers, button handler. And I'm gonna AFK for a sec. Be right back.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
All right, I'm back. Let's click into this and see if it works this time. Oh! Why is it still broken then? I had reverted the draw. Well, that's interesting. So what did I mess up then? Oh, I have a couple ideas. I didn't. Okay, no, I didn't. I was thinking maybe I grabbed the view properties. Let's look what I've changed. It's got to be somewhere around here. I bet it was that. Let's just see what that does. I bet that's it. All right. Let's put breakpoints right here and see what's going on when we get to this point. And how was that doing it before? If we didn't have that before, why did that work before? Oh, it used to have that. It would do skiaview.mapper. That's the issue. So if I would have done that right, all right. So that used to have a default mapper. We're going to discard that. Now our default drawing should work. Why, hello, flurry of activity. And then I need to make this stuff pass the mapper stuff down through as well. Let's try this. It's still not. How? I'm just trying to figure out why my drawing. I've made lots of changes, good changes to the architecture that I want. But I've tried uncommenting a few things that I thought would have fixed it. And it didn't. Didn't I also have in the iOS Skia view stuff? Opaque, false, I did that. Did I mess that up while hooking that in? Although if I'm setting the mapper right, I don't need that. So let's see if I can do that without it mattering. Virtual view, oh no, it's this one. Well, the button touch ending's working. Why is that not happy? Oh, unclick. That makes sense. Did I not have that hooked up? I thought I did. Well, touching's working and it's doing something. It's just not drawing text right. Because the old code fades it out. So maybe we're doing something wrong where we get the text color. Or the orders in which we're drawing. Maybe we're drawing twice or overwriting background over it. We'll supposed to just drawing text in black and see what happens. Because the old code did that fade. And then this isn't crashing anymore. Yay, fixed a bug. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So let's go to the button handler. Check out this draw. Oops. All right, now this draw text, we're going to default it to only doing black. Because it's drawing the same. If we can get this to work right. Let's see if that draws a black label. So it's just our draw text that's not working. Oh. That's why the old stuff wasn't working. I cut and paste this stuff out instead of copying and pasting it. Well, that explains the old stuff not working. Now the old stuff should work again. Oh, I'm an idiot sometimes. Alright, now both those are working. So sad.
I'm not a quack. I'm a mad scientist. There is a difference.
Sometimes I'm not sure if there is, though. Sorry, play my new sound bites I found. They're fun. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Alright. Oh, I just wasted so much time on that. Alright, so let's go back and undo some of the stuff I just did. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, lots of projects is the only way to really get some of that interesting knowledge. You know, I'm not sure about that. Now, I'm not saying I got all the right answers, but I can tell you about my experience and all of this stuff with like looking for most growth I've had, to be completely honest, was at smaller companies. I learned so much more in such a small amount of time compared to like since I joined Microsoft. Yes, Comet is really stretching me, but the opportunities to do things like Comet are so small in the bigger companies. It's just a fact of life. When I was in like a startup, it's insane how much I learned. 1 week I'd be told, "Hey, get something crazy figured out and build something. You've got a demo in 2 weeks." If I was lucky, it was 2 weeks. Sometimes it was show me something in 2 days, which was typically more realistic. And you work a lot more. Don't get me wrong, my work to life balance was horrible as a startup. It was fun for a while and it was great, but you learn so much more to start up than you do at a big company. Just the opportunities you're given, plus the expectations, and you're allowed to fail in a startup. You're allowed to iterate quickly and try things out and say, that didn't work, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And the number of hats you put on in a big company, you have one role. Realistically, you have one job. Someone else has a job to do every other thing else. When you're a startup and you're like, well, I can try doing some of that. I can try doing some of that. You're given opportunities to try lots of different things, more than just your standard role, and you have a lot of opportunities to prove yourself compared to at a big company. That's my experience. Might be different for other people, but I disagree that the big companies, you get paid better at big companies. That's true, but you're going to learn more and grow more at smaller companies, especially a small startup. That's my experience. All right, so let's go back to where we were with our button. Let's uncomment that stuff we just commented out, and then let's fix our mapper. So this is drawing exactly like we thought. Run that again. But yeah, the number of like greenfield POC projects you get to do at a big company like this are very small. I just happen to be like the luckiest guy in the world. That's why I'm doing this. And I'll admit, I am super lucky in my career. Where I've landed is amazing, and it's pure dumb luck. All right, exciting. But that was all my pure dumb luck is still built on the foundation of um is still built on the foundation of all the years of the startup and what I learned there. All right, so let's comment this out. So it's our draw text button that is our draw text that is wrong. So what we'll do, oops. Let's bring this back actually. We're going to comment all of this out. Now we're going to just bring in and out this text just to see if I did text wrong. Maybe I'm not even proxying the draw text call. No, I thought we broke through that. All right. Animated sample, button has no text. Bring this back. Does button have text? If it does, it's our text draw button that's bad. And then we'll see if we can fix it and see why. All right, we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I mean, that could be, but you can still join a US startup out of Europe. Most of them let you work remote. Xamarin, when I joined, we had 20 something employees and we were in 18 different countries. So there's plenty of startups that are very, very distributed. All right, we don't need all this code. We know where our issue is. Our issue is with our drawing. So let's figure out our drawing nonsense. I didn't do a draw mapper. No, we shouldn't have to. The draw mapping should all be in the native stuff. This one. Skia text, Skia control, Skia something. Skia control! Alright, this guy is not painting right. Why am I... Oh no, that's the wrong one. Alright, so let's just do tb.layout. Let's just tell it to layout before we draw. Maybe something's jacked up. That's right! I wasn't calling the layout. I don't know, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna lay out right before we paint. Yeah, there's lots of interesting ideas like that and things that can work. All right, so let's try this again. We're painting. Remove this breakpoint. Wait a minute, where's that one getting called from? Oh, that's the text handler. Curse this stupid thing. Wait, did that 106 never hit though, did it? Oh, it did. Should I be doing save and restore? I thought that just dealt with points. No, that didn't make a difference. I thought that restore was needed. Let's stop this and run that again. All right, so then now the real question is, why does this draw and this one doesn't? Let's go to our button. All right, so this should fire a couple times. Color. I wish, okay, that is white. Right, that is white, isn't it? 1111's all right, is white? Yes. That's not getting reset each time. Doesn't need to be though. All right, so that one got called, one. Text blocks, let's just put a breakpoint here. I mean, realistically, that should only be called once. It shouldn't keep being called. All right, so text block should not is null. That's good. Invalidate, invalidate. Text is being set as hello. It has measurements. This is infuriating. What makes instantiating it new different? Let's make sure our creating it is identical. All right. All that stuff, who cares? So we have text blocks, add text, max width, max height, lines, alignment. That one does, that shouldn't matter. Hopefully their layout command's smart to not re-layout if it doesn't need to. Okay, so let's try this again. Excuse me. Oh, come on! Just draw the dang text! Alright, we're gonna close this. This is maddening. Let's make it pink. The background's drawing. Alright, so let's do this one again, right? Alright, so now we're going to go to the Skia control and we're going to turn off everything but the text. Nope. Wait a minute. I'm thinking this one. Putting a breakpoint on the Skia control just to make sure that's not actually drawn. So that is being called, but that's on the text, right? Text handler, okay, we don't care about that. That drawing text like that just doesn't work. We're going to try something crazy. As if I haven't already tried crazy stuff. I'm just gonna null it out first. Let's create a new one. I know I'm supposed to reuse them, but if it's gonna be evil and mean like this, let's recreate it. Freaking kidding me! Let's compare these puppies. Let's see what's different. Maybe we have one for measuring and we have one for drawing. So weird. Whoa, what? How did that happen? Let's see where create text block is being called from. All right. That's being called from that one. Perfect. Oh! uh, Sometimes when you stare at this code too long, it's easy to make these dumb mistakes like that. And to mix up the music. Too much punk. All right, that one's from the initial measure. Okay, this is us creating the new one now. So the old one, we're not disposing these or anything, are we? I'm not doing like a using or anything, am I? Oh, I could be messing up these. Maybe I'm jacking up the frame. I didn't even think of that. All right, so I create one. That's the measure one. I never set the height back. It's still set at null. I need to fix that before I draw. All right, we can fix that. That's fixable. Now that we know what it is. All right. Let's go to or let's go to the creation of that. Oh, that's so stupid. Yet so makes sense. All right. Can't remember what control. Here we are. Done. All right, we just fixed drawing. Should we convert text to the new pattern first? It shouldn't take anything to convert text to the new pattern. Maybe we'll do that. We need to do all the font stuff for it. So when fonts change, whatever, but we're not too worried about that right now. And font size. Because then I could animate the font size changing. Let's do it. All right, so let's try this. Move all these breakpoints. They're not needed anymore. We know the issue. Yes! Yes! That was brutal to find, guys. Oh, wrong control again. It was not fun. All right, now we'll convert the text to draw the same way. And let's turn animations back on. I think animations will just work, the ones we have. We'll check. Right, I have that fuchsia layer in there. On buttons, I hard-coded to fuchsia. Oh, all right. So let's close all that. Let's run it with animations. Let's see what happens. The button might not animate, but I think it will, depending on what we tied into the mapper. I thought we tied into everything. Check that out! It only did one. Why didn't the other one do it? Let's go check our animation. All right, animation sample. Repeats true, auto reverses. That should just go back and forth, back and forth. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Ski something or other. All right, this one does not auto reverse. True, repeats, true. All right, so what that auto reverses does makes it goes in a sequence. We'll just like keep looping and looping and looping. All right, let's also give this a shape. Reason is when we on the white one, I want to make sure that we have, when we're on the white one, I still want to see the black border. All right, so now let's go to animated Skia sample. Oh, we don't have borders drawing right now. Either way, it's now looping. You'll notice I didn't have to do anything on Skia to do that animation loop. Yes, using the mappers fixed all that for us. All right, let's go fix text. I want text to work too. I reverted all that Skia view. Yeah, discard that. And we'll fix that. Actually, that might have fixed the text one. We'll see. I need to look in and see if we're doing the mapper stuff right on that. All right. kind of fun. Right, we're probably going to disable the animations because we're then going to animate the state stuff. All right. Let's close that. Let's commit this first. What am I thinking? Oh, I should be doing this on a branch. Ski. Create branch. Bring my changes. You best bring those changes. All right. All right. Get that. Publish that branch. Let's go do the labels. Get labels caught up. Then labels will properly animate. Again, super exciting. Comet. Where am I thinking? Oh, let's go back to Skia. So we have button. Oh, no, wrong ones. We don't care about SK button. We do care about button and text handler. Oh, wait, is this still... I didn't fix that. We don't care about that. Oh, that needs to be an iView handler. Never mind. That's all not needed. Native view is technically that. Don't need to do any of that. All right. Actually, we'll just leave that all as throw not implemented because we don't need all that. All right. So now let's do the text handler as a mapper. Oh, right, because here's that mapper that we're not using anymore. And it's not exactly accurate anymore. We can do... Hey, Matt! Yes, do you see it? It was working! Well, the button was. I need to fix the text. But we now have a new pattern. Did you see the new pattern before you go to bed? All right. So there's a new thing that you can do. Is the new pattern is in a sample. Are you still there? Or am I talking without you being here? So for those who have been watching for this, I might not have explained all the benefits of doing this. But if I go to this sample, I mean, let's just go to the app delegate on this thing. Something really cool we just enabled is button handler dot draw mapper, right? We've just now made it to where I can do name of button dot text equals you now. I'm trying to remember the draw. What's the overload? I can't remember. But you can now do, it's on the Skia one. You can now override a single drawing layer. A single drawing layer. I haven't done it to the control level yet, but I have it now working for globally. So you can override every Skia button now and say, all Skia buttons, I'm going to draw just this layer, which is super awesome. So the draw text is... So now I can say, bam. Now I took over the drawing for that button. which is, to me, is super exciting. And I'm going to let you do that at the control level as well. Nice. I like it. Did I do that right? Cannot implicitly type. Oh, there we go. Yes, so now I can just do canvas.whatever. It's my job to draw that text now, which is really, really awesome. And I can cast that control down. Yeah. So any control, you're going to be able to override just that one layer. So I can do text, I can do background, I can do border, and it's exciting. All right, now I'm going to go finish the other stuff. Let's go get text now updated to that same pattern. And we'll do all the font stuff as well. All right, so this has all this stuff. You know, we can probably, all of this we're going to move to the base view. All right, all of these are going to go to the Skia control. And what we're going to do is right now on the SK button, no, not the SK button, on the button handler, we have this static map. We're going to move this to here. And now all of these, let's call it map. Oh, it is called map reset. That's it. So now fonts, size, weight, all of that is now done. Wait, why are these name ofs? Those should not be name ofs. Where did I copy that from? Or did I just do that on my own? All right, perfect. So now fonts and all that stuff are globally mapped, so we don't have to do that on the label or the button. Now in the text handler, now we are going to do sk skia control dot mapper. And now on here, we are going to do text equals Skia control dot reset map reset text. And we're going to do that same thing on the button handlers. Now they share the same control, same one. Oh, it's going to get it anyway. I just don't even need to type it. All right, let's try it. That should now make it animate. Oh, we're not passing the mapper in. Never mind. Never mind. Um, All right, perfect. So now that's using the new mapper. We don't have to do anything for the draw one either. We'll fix the measure. Delete this. All we have to do now is the iText handler. Implement interface. Shouldn't it have made that text block for me too? Yeah, why aren't all that stuff there? Did I miss it? All right, oh, here they are. I just put them in the wrong spot. All right, so now let's do... We're just going to go copy this stuff from the button. The vertical alignment, I think, is going to be different because that's going to come from the button. Okay, let's copy this. We're going to do this one. So now let's look at that text. Vertical alignment. It's also going to be centered. Right, that's vertical, not horizontal. Because we haven't exposed that yet. I don't think we did we? Typed dot get vertical. No, we didn't. We haven't exposed that yet, so it's fine. We're just gonna stick with that. Same, need that internal. All right. That was the same. Wow. All right, let's try it. Oh, we need to do the measure. I'm gonna fix the measure one to share. Since it's not interactive, it's even easier. Maybe we'll do the text handler, and then we'll make the button subclass text handler, since it's a text handler with interaction. Wow. Should have done text first. All right, once this is done, I'm probably going to be done for the day. I didn't realize how late it was. It's 4 o'clock my time. Dinner's going to be soon. Kids are all getting home. And I was working till like midnight last night fixing CI. Why isn't that updating though? Oh, do I need to do color too? I need color. Yeah, we're just going to subclass these puppies, and then it's just going to be text with interaction. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Well, this is even the handler, so this has nothing to do with the native types. Nothing at all to do with the native types. So this is just my own stuff. All right. Yes! Look at that Skia animations! Those are smooth! Oh, I'm happy with that. I am super happy with that. All right, so let's commit that. Now we're going to switch to the subclassing it. All right. We'll just override the measurement because the measurements has slightly different things. The default font is slightly different. Then we have the interactions. Oh, the typed view is not the same. I have to just do that cast each time, not the end of the world. Or I can do it once and save it. Oh, that text isn't going to work. I'm going to have to do a little bit more refactoring to do that. That's easy enough to fix. Typed virtual interface dot value. Done. Got that. And then I'm also tempted to move. No, I'm not going to that. All right, button doesn't need that. I close text handler. Let's go to accessibility one. All right, that's done. That's done. The type stuff, this may not work. That's why I committed the other stuff first. Let's do all right, so let's try it. Yeah, that broke stuff. I was worried it would. Oh well, we'll just have a little bit of duplicate code. It's not much. Yeah. It's really not. It's 100 lines of code. Maybe if I keep doing